What's going on, guys? It is Steven here, coming at you live with the Ad Badgers daily Facebook Lives, Amazon marketing tips. Just a quick little 10-minute, 15-minute video, keeping you guys, your mind sharp, ahead of the game, ahead of the competition. And so, yeah, today I wanted to jump in on a topic talking about different product page ad types. I've heard this question a lot. Lots of times people are sending in screenshots being like, hey, what is this ad type? Or even sometimes it's a client being like, hey, like I want this particular ad placement on this product page. Like, how do we get that? What ad is this? There are 1, 2, 3, 4 different ad types that appear on, I guess 5 technically. There are 5 different ad types that appear on a product page. They sometimes look a little bit different than your typical search engine results page ads. And so with that, I'm going to share my screen and we will take a look at these. So hopefully you can see it. I've got a pretty big monitor, so I think everything's kind of stretched out a little bit, but hopefully you guys can see everything okay. If not, let me know. I'll try to fix it. So here we have a, I typed in the word yoga mat here. I'm trying to work on my own, home quarantine yoga bodybuilding. Just kidding. But clicked on just one of the first products that popped up. Wanted to look at a few of these ad types that are here. And we basically see here, we see this, it says ad feedback. So that's clearly an ad that's happening. Over here, we see this ad feedback. So that's the thing that's happening. Down here, we have a carousel of ads all on here. You see it says sponsored products right there. And then down here, we have brands related to this category, and that's another sponsored, and you get another ad feedback. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different ad feedback, or I guess just ads popping up right here. And, there's 4 different kind of, I guess, strategies happening across each of these ads. So yeah, we're just going to talk about this real quick. Identify each of these ads, describe what they are, how they work. And then, so first up, we're going to start with the easy one. So first is sponsored products related to this item. So that is just your typical sponsored products ad. These sponsored product ads could be either keyword targeting ads or product targeting ads. So maybe you have an auto campaign. So, you have a sponsored product campaign. Maybe it's an automatic targeting. Maybe it's keyword targeting. You're targeting the words yoga mat, and you can see up here in the URL, I think you can see that. Yeah, well, kind of. I think the Facebook Live thing is kind of blocking it. But you see here it says keywords. Yeah, it says keywords yoga and then mat up there. So you can see that those keywords kind of follow onto the product page with your keyword targeting. So if you were targeting the keyword yoga mat, or maybe just the phrase match yoga, your sponsored products could appear down here on the product page. And you can identify this in your campaigns if you have a manual keyword targeting campaign or an auto campaign. If you open up the placements tab, you can see exactly where the ads are being placed. Next up, second, probably easiest one to identify is it says brands related to this category on Amazon. So sponsored brand ads, a lot of people think sponsored brands only pertain to, and here we can do another Amazon search here. Or not sponsored, I almost typed in sponsored brands, yoga mat. So right here at the top, this is your traditional sponsored brands ad, and a lot of people think that's the only ad placement for sponsored brands, but that's only the top of search sponsored brand ads. So same with like placements or campaign settings in your sponsored brand ads. You can control your bids. You can say, hey, I want to decrease my bids by a certain amount if I don't get top of search. So it's kind of different from sponsored products. Sponsored products you increase to get top of search. With sponsored brands, you decrease if it's not top of search. It's kind of a weird thing. But what that means is if your ad doesn't get placed up here, and instead you get placed all the way down here at the bottom, where you see this brands related to your search. These are just a few more different sponsored brand ads. They can appear at the bottom of the search page, or they can appear like we're seeing here on another product page as well. So one thing just to note, I would highly recommend using down bidding for non-top of search, because those top of search sponsored brand ads are usually pretty expensive, pretty high cost per clicks, anywhere from like $3 to $5 for that placement as opposed to a top of search placement. So because your sponsored brands are so expensive, you don't want to be paying $5 for a click down there if it's going to be not top of search. So yeah, I would highly recommend that. Now, going on to the final two, these ones are a little bit more tricky. This ad that we're seeing here, this is a sponsored display ad. So sponsored display is the new sort of self-service display advertising campaign type for both sellers and vendors. So if you are a seller and you see that you have access to sponsored display beta, this is where these ads will appear. It describes sponsored displays describing as both on Amazon and off Amazon, and you can target audiences based off their views, their product view history, their search history, or their product purchase history. So you can target those different audiences based off that. These ads will sometimes appear off of Amazon. So if you're on another website, maybe you've seen them when you're browsing the web, you'll see little things that pop up. It just looks like an Amazon product and it says add to cart. It has the reviews, the price there, the ratings. So those also appear on Amazon and they look like this. And with these ad types, you can also do product targeting. So if you wanted to, so I believe product targeting will actually place your ad on the product page itself, as opposed to audience targeting, which just targets the shopper, and that could be on Amazon, off Amazon. I'm pretty sure that if you do product targeting, that does not move off Amazon, because that I don't really know how that would work. If you're targeting this ASIN, how you would target that ASIN off Amazon. I believe product targeting is only on Amazon, and so that is what that ad looks like. Now, a lot of people get confused when they see this ad down here. Because it looks kind of like a sponsored brand ad, because it does. So there's three components, or I guess four components. There is happening on this ad. Number one is the product image. Number two is the brand image, the logo of Crown Sporting Goods. Number three is a headline, stay grounded. And then fourth is actually just the price point and the title itself. I'm surprised that there's no reviews. Maybe this product doesn't have any reviews on it. Let's find out. No, it's got some reviews. Yeah, I'm not sure why that didn't pop up. Yeah, but see, this one here has the reviews. So, yeah, so there's been a lot of confusion about this, and some people have thought it was sponsored brands. I was actually a little confused at one point, because I even talked with one of our our Amazon rep, and he was confused at the time, and he didn't know what it was. So it took some confusion. I just found out through a friend on LinkedIn over the weekend what this was. It was identified, but you can see it is not sponsored brands. It does look similar to sponsored brands, because these are the sponsored brands. You do have your brand, your product image, your brand image, and your headline. But sponsored brands usually doesn't include the price point. So this is different. What this actually is, this ad is for vendors on Vendor Central who are advertising on AMS. These are the former product display ads. So sponsored display used to be called product display ads, just like how sponsored brands used to be called headline search ads. I believe they wanted to unify all the names around the word sponsored and product display. They switched to sponsored brands and sponsored display. That way you've got your sponsored product, sponsored brand, sponsored display. I mean, I guess it's more consistent nomenclature, so I like it. Also, headline search ads, they're not even in the headlines anymore, so that name had to be done away with. So these are the former product display ads that Amazon used to have for vendors. Amazon has began to move away from this type and has moved just to sponsored display, which does not have customizable creatives. So the old product display ads, you could customize the creatives. You could have your own logo here. You could have your own brand image. You could change the headlines. You could try a few different headlines out. Those were the old days. They have since done away with that. Now you don't have custom creatives. It is this creative. It is pre-built for you. But this is where it gets weird. With the move to sponsored display, the on Vendor Central, if you are a vendor, the only way you can have a custom creative in your sponsored display ad is if it is a product targeting display ad. So if you are doing product targeting with sponsored display, then you can customize the creative. You can't customize it for audience targeting. I don't know why that is. That's what I found out over the weekend on LinkedIn. So that was news to me, but it makes sense. So so when I went to one of our own client accounts and looked at it, I noticed that you can only customize the creative in product targeting sponsored display. Now, the fifth and final ad type that this could be is this could be a DSP ad, a demand side platform ad. Me and Michael will be talking about DSP advertising for the next 3 episodes on or so. It's quite a bit of content, so we'll be talking about that on the podcast in a few weeks here. But DSP ads, you can have your own brand image, create your own custom headline. DSP ads, you can run those with audience targeting. So you can be audience targeting or product targeting. You can run these ads on Amazon or off Amazon. So this could be a DSP ad, or it could be a vendor central sponsored display product targeting ad. It could be either one of those two. They really are identical between those two. It's the same. They call it a dynamic e-commerce ad. So it's the same thing, dynamic e-commerce ad. But there you go. So that is all of the ads happening on this product page. I hope that helps you just learn how to identify which ads are which, have a better understanding of what your targeting is doing, even how you should be bidding on your, say, sponsored brands and sponsored products. But just in summary, this right here is sponsored display for Seller Central. This ad here is sponsored display for either a vendor central account that is product targeting, or it is a DSP ad. These all down here are sponsored products that are just landing on the product pages, and these are sponsored brands that are landing on product page ad placements. So there it is. I don't think I got any questions. I wasn't really watching, and I'm not as good at this as Mike is. Oh wait, comments. I'm seeing some comments here. All right, I'm gonna try to answer these real quick. Let's see. We got this from Eunice. Hello, I have a question. I listened to one of Ad Badger podcasts. My question is, I didn't understand the calculation of revenue per click, ACoS divided by cost per click, and what result this is giving for ACoS per click. Follow-up question, and what is this for? Eunice, so quick, so on that, ACoS divided by cost per click, actually, I think it's a little bit of a miscommunication there. We don't really do like ACoS divided by cost per click for revenue per click. So what we're doing for the ACoS is we're basically doing, since it's ad cost of sales, it is ad spend divided by sales. So that gives you your ACoS. It's your ad spend divided by your sales is your ACoS. What we try to do is hit that ACoS with every single click. And so if you can figure out what your cost per click is and your revenue per click is, essentially you just want to make sure that your cost per click is, let's just say you're targeting 50% ACoS, your cost per click should be about 50% of your revenue per click. So if you get $10 in sales over the course of 10 clicks, then your average revenue per click would be $1 per click. And so if your target ACoS is 50%, then your cost per click, it would stand to reason, should on average be about 50 cents a click. So if on average you spend about 50 cents a click, and if on average you generate $1 in revenue per click, then you're gonna land up at that 50% ACoS. Of course, not every single click is gonna earn a sale, so that's why we kind of do total sales over total clicks and kind of, because maybe every 10th click earns a sale. So that is to answer that question. Thanks for asking. And then let's see, I get a lot of clicks on these ads, but little conversions. I'm guessing you're talking about, product page placement ads. We see that a lot. My theory on why that is, why product page placement ads usually get clicked a lot, but not a lot of sales. They usually have the lowest conversion rates, really high ACoS. My theory is that, if I clicked on this ad right here, when I saw it on the search page, I liked it for one reason or another. Like I already saw 4, 5, 6 products on the search page. Something drew my attention to this. I either liked the image, I liked the reviews, I liked the price, whatever. And so all of these down here, these are kind of just like last minute options for me to second guess or compare the product that I was initially drawn to. And so I might, open up a couple of these in a different tab and compare them. And, sometimes, you will drive sales from these last minute sort of comparison. Hey, try to check out this product real quick. And you can steal away some sales from these product targeting campaigns. If you're targeting an ASIN, you can steal some sales with that sort of last minute comparison. But usually I think people are a little bit more, they have a little bit more buy-in on the first product that they already clicked. So they're usually going to gravitate towards that first product for sales. So I think you should be targeting product page placements. You just want to manage those, how much you're spending on those product page placements, so that your ACoS isn't going through the roof, and just that everything's being optimized. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. That is it for today. We will be back tomorrow with more Facebook Live. Michael will be back, and he'll be talking. And so, thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the Badger Den.